Welcome back, everyone. Happy New Year. Mike McConville here one more time for String Tech, Stratford, Ontario, Canada. So what we have here is a VOS 1959 reissue, and we're doing some fingerboard correction on it. And we all know how a truss rod is supposed to work and how the neck is supposed to react. You'll see a little later on in the video what I had to do to correct this neck before we put the new frets in. This is the bass side of the fingerboard. This guitar is tuned to concert pitch, 10 to 46 strings. And this is the lay of the neck as it stands right now, tuned to concert pitch with these strings. You can see that there's quite a swoop on this end and quite a bit of relief. Now this is the bass side of the neck, obviously. We're going to take a look at the treble side of the neck in a minute. And for all of the latest TechDeck owners that are doing this type of work, this video will explain and justify why I'm doing what I'm doing, and also for those of you that have your fret kits, this is the ultimate test for those fret kits. Once again, this is the bass side, quite a bit of relief, and the fingerboard kind of swoops up from about the 13th fret up to the end. So I haven't touched a truss rod, haven't adjusted anything. Let's take a look at the treble side. So on the treble side, completely different story. We've got a high spot here. If we loosen off the truss rod, then we'll have way too much bow on the bass side. So the point is, this is an opportunity when the frets are removed to correct the lay of the neck, and then this guitar will be good for the long run. First thing is to get those old frets out. I've loaded the truss rod and chalked those two treble spots. The bass side at this end, just kind of coming to middle and stopping. The treble side was fine, as you saw earlier. So I started that with 80 grit, and now I'm going to take care of this back bow also with 80 grit. This is really the treble side I'm concentrating on here. This is my 10-inch straight edge. I always find it is the most versatile. So it tells me that I still got to come down here, and I still have to come down here. I'm going with a little bit longer block here now, but concentrating on this top end. I'll stop again in a second and check that with the 10-inch straight edge. And that has pretty well done the lion's share of the correcting. Okay. I just don't touch it a little bit at the top, a little bit more up here. Well, this is the Japanese pole stroke saw, cuts on the pole stroke, very thin kerf, and there's a slightly different tooth pattern from one side of the blade to the other. I square off the end when I get it, and this allows me to get right in tight to the binding when I'm raking out the fret slots in preparation for the fret installation. I have the finger from an old leather glove that I use to sort of push down as I get in tight to kind of rake that out. I flip the blade for the other teeth for the slightly coarser teeth, and I do that all the way along. So this allows me to get right in tight to the binding so we get a good fit on those frets. I pick up these saws at the local restore for, I think they're $8.95 or something. I usually get 3 or 4 at a time. They do come in different thicknesses. This one, the reason I use this one is it's a much thinner kerf than the actual slot. So I'm cleaning without widening. So this is the lay of the neck after the job was completed. And before I started, this is what the neck looked like. These are the 108 by 51 thou frets, and here's the compensated nut. This is the final intonation on the replacement bridge. One last glance at Ross's Black Beauty, he used to call it. Okay, this is a 3/4. So I've looped that, we'll let that play.